Good day and welcome once again to another trading video with Monaco Daniel. In this video, um, I'll be doing my best to share my ideas and insights on a concept of trading or an idea about trading that might be a challenge to a lot of traders out there, but it's a fast growing idea. It is a fast growing concept. It is a fast growing approach to trading any financial market. Yeah. Before I get right into what we have for today, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and leave a comment below. I personally make out time to attend to every comment that is left in the comment box. So, with that being said, let's head right into what we have for today. Today, we are going to be looking at, like I said, an idea or an approach to trading that is quite unpopular. It is not one of the most popular concept, one of the most popular things you hear people talk about when they talk about trading any particular method. So today we'll be looking at hidden zones. Yeah, we'll be looking at hidden zones, and not just hidden zones with regards to the supply and demand trading concept. Yeah, I am a supply and demand trader, but for this video, I believe that this is a concept, this is an idea that is not just limited to the supply and demand trading methodology. This is a an idea, this is a concept that goes far beyond just supply and demand. It cuts across literally every institutional approach to trading. Supply and demand, smart money concept, ICT, and every other institutional approach to trading out there are basically systems of trading that looks to identify those areas where we have stacks of buys and sell orders, and then placing your trade in the direction of those orders. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Trading basically is a game of ask and bid, a game of buy and sell. So what this basically means is that if you have a buy order opened, for your buy orders to get filled, someone else has to have a sell order open. So if I have a buy order open, someone have to be selling to get my order filled. The same way, if I have a sell order open, someone else have to be buying to get my sell orders filled. It's as simple as that. So if trading is a game of buying and selling, ask and bid, and the main aim of literally everyone being in this market, being in this space, is to make profit, is to end up making money for themselves. So, what this literally means is when you are possibly making, sitting in profit from a position, someone else is probably sitting in losses from that same um, market you are trading. If you are sitting in profit from a buy position, someone is losing from selling to you, or someone sell orders filled yours, so someone else is probably in loss. So in a game like this, in a game where um your major opponent is the entire market participants, where you have to face, you are not just trading against your own market ideas, you are trading against the market ideas of the thousands and millions of other traders out there. Yeah, we want to develop a system, an edge, an approach, whatever it is you want to call it, for trading this market that allows you to not to not be being in a winning trade all the time, because it is, I don't know, from according to my own experience, there is no 100% winning strategy out there. Yeah, there is none. So we want to develop an approach to trading that puts us in a winning position the best we can, or that helps us to get out of a losing position as early as we can. We want to develop an edge for ourselves, and that's basically what we'll be doing today. So now, as institutional traders, we mostly pay attention to order blocks or zones, supply and demand zones, or fair value gap, or whatever it is you want to call it. But in most cases, we are looking out for levels like this, price level like this in the chart, where you have this small sideways price action, yeah, and then we want to look out for markets coming back to test these levels for us to get our orders filled. What this basically shows is that in this particular price range or this price level, we have stacks and stacks of buy orders filled here. um since trading is a game of ask and bid, buy and selling, it means that the person with the largest money, the highest bidder wins. Yeah, it means that the big money traders are more likely to be in a better position in a trade than small retail traders like myself and you and literally everyone else out there. Yeah. So what we want to do is not fight against institutions or banks or these big money guys. No, we don't want to compete with them. You are going to lose for a fact. What we want to do as smart traders is to identify those levels where these guys that have the big money are placing their trades and then place our trades in that level. But here's the thing, since market has to take from someone to give to another person, um, and these guys that are coming into the market with big buy or sell orders, they are coming with huge sum of money. Market needs to take from a lot of people to be able to pay them. Yeah. Now, they try as much as they can to get their orders hidden, sorry, to get their orders hidden. They want to be in the best position when they can. But most importantly, since they know that there are traders like myself and every other smart money or institutional trader out there that is not an institution or is not a big money trader, but have learned to think and trade like these big money traders. Yeah. So they try to, as much as they can, to hide their positions. They don't want to fill their positions in the most obvious levels in the market. So what these guys do is, not in all cases um are you going to find market reacting off levels like this. Not in every cases are you going to find market reacting off strong order blocks like this. In some cases, you find prices reacting off in a level where you can literally not find any other block. And that is what we are going to be looking at today, hidden zones, those levels of interest for institutions that are not as obvious on the charts as you will find zones like this. This is an obvious order block. You can see the rally base rally order block, very obvious. Yeah, but if you look right above this, you're going to find that right along this level, you can see prices reacting off this level once, twice, three times, four times, the fifth test, and then here we are for the sixth. Yeah. So what exactly is so special about this price level that made prices or that made the market to react off it multiple times? That is what we are going to be looking out for today. So basically, hidden zones or hidden order block, whichever you want to call it, are those levels where you have your order blocks like this. Your other blocks appear in forms of just wicks. Yes. And they are no different from your regular zones, except that on possibly on your current time frame, they don't appear as an order block like we have right here. They possibly just appear as weeks like we do here. Now, if you switch to a much smaller time frame, what you are going to find is most likely the regular order block. Yeah. Coming down to the 1 hour chart, this is the 1 hour chart for euro against the British pounds. Now, on the 4 hours chart, what we had right here was just a week to the up and a week to the down of these two candles, weeks in between these two candles. But coming down to the 1 hour charts, what you find right here is order blocks, sideways price action followed by an imbalance. You can see this one, two sideways price action, and then price is coming to react to it on multiple occasions. Yeah. So first thing first, your hidden base, your hidden zones, your hidden order block, your hidden whatever it is you want to call it, are no different from your regular order blocks or supply or demand zones, except that they are not as obvious as you would want them to be on your current time frame, but you can find them on much smaller time frame. In this case, I used the 4 hours and 1 hour. In some cases, you need to even go down as low as 5 minutes or even your 1 minute chart before you find your order block right there. Yeah, but hidden zones, hidden order block are your zones that are lower time frame zones that are not obvious on the higher time frame like we have right here. And the next question a lot of people might want to ask is, how exactly do you identify these hidden zones when you see them in your chart? Are they always in forms of two candle setup, a week to one side and then a week to the other side, or there are other forms that these setups, that these zones can take? Well, personally for me, I would say there are no there are no standard basis for defining this. You can't say they are always in this form or they are always in whichever form you want. But what I personally pay attention to is weeks. I have this idea about trading that when you look at your charts, your weeks are storytellers. They tell a lot of stories as to what is happening in the market beyond what your eye can see. Yeah. So where I find weeks, I always try to look out for the story behind that weeks. Now, in cases like this, when I find weeks, I know this is a very obvious order block in a much smaller time frame. Yeah, there are also cases where you will find weeks to just one side like this. It is still the same thing. This is um this is market. You see this week and then prices coming down here. Let me go to the 1 hour time frame and see what we have right here. Okay, on the 1 hour we have this order block right here, and then it got tested here, it got tested here. Yeah, yeah. So I'm just going to find other levels in these charts where we have market reacting off basically just weeks. Yeah. Okay, right here we have this, and then yeah, so I marked out a few more hidden zones that we have right here on this charts. Euros against the British pounds. Right here, you can see we have this week to the upside and then a week to the downside, and then market reacting off it. Right here, I think we also have something a week to the up and then to the down, and then you can see the reaction. um right here we have the same thing and then another up here. Yeah, And another thing I would also like to add is this doesn't just happen on a particular chart or on a particular time frame. You can find this happening on whichever time frame you want, whichever time frame that is best preferable to you. You could be a scalper or a day trader, or you could literally try to identify this on any time frame of your choice. I had to use just the 4 hours, and I'm not even going down to much smaller time frames because I'm trying as much as I can to keep this video as short as we can, as simple as we can. Yeah. So that is basically it for how to identifying these hidden zones. I'm going to do the same on a non this is for euro GBP. Let me look for a crypto pair. Yeah, I am mostly a crypto trader, though I believe that a very sound technical knowledge is never limited to just any particular market. If you go to your charts, you're going to find a lot of this happening on several time frame, on literally any time frame of your choice, like I stated earlier. Okay, we didn't get a perfect test here. Right here, and then it just goes on. You're going to find this happening on several of your charts. Now the big question is going to be, how do you trade off these hidden zones? Do you approach them differently from the way you approach your regular zones or regular structure in the market? And I would say that for me, I approach hidden zones the same way I approach my regular supply and demand zone. What is more important is not the zone, it is your approach to trading it. It is you defining a edge, having a set of rules and approach for trading any particular level in the market. It is not about um, the level, it is not about the system, it is about you as the trader. And one thing I usually say is, if you look at your charts, if you look at, okay, if you look at your charts, you are going to find out that market prints their order blocks printed almost everywhere on your chart, but not every one of them gets respected. You can see this market blew right through it. You can see this, okay, getting a little reaction, and this got blown, okay, a nice reaction. And what you are going to find on whichever time frame, you are going to find a lot of other blocks, a lot of supply and demand zones that are not getting respected. In fact, I would say that for every one zone, for every one other block that gets respected, there are probably four more that didn't get respected. Yeah. For every one other block that got respected, or for every one base or zone that gets respected, there are most likely four more that didn't get respected. So what this means is that for you to actually, you don't just win, you don't just have winning trades basically by identifying other blocks. You need to develop for yourself an approach to trading these other blocks, an approach from an approach that helps you separate every other zones from the most significant zones in the market. Yeah, because you are not going to get that reaction you are looking for from every zone in the market. So what is more important is you, yeah, have a sound technical knowledge, but create for yourself an edge, an approach to trading that. Yeah. So guys, your hidden zones or hidden order block or whatever it is you choose to call it is none other than your regular zones that are hidden in much smaller time frames. And um, this is applicable on every time frame. You can approach them the same way you approach every other zones in the market. Now, I have made a simplified supply and demand trading material that I am going to be dropping a link to download in the description, in the video description. Yeah. So if you need possibly a much simplified knowledge on how to identify this thing, or a more practical case, you can check out the link to the PDF file in the description box below. This is where we call it a day. Welcome. Do have a very lovely day, very lovely week, and most importantly, trade carefully.